Would you please introduce yourself?
Good evening, I'm Dick Cooley.
And you are here at the premiere of Last Days in Vietnam. Can you tell me, how does it feel to be attending this screening, and what do you hope audiences will get from it?
Well, I left Vietnam a long time ago, 1970s when I left Vietnam, and this happened in 1975. I'm hoping what the audience will get out of it is the complete chaos that happened when we deserted Vietnam. And I say that as a political statement because we did desert them. It was our Congress that cut off the funding for that war, and after the funding was cut off, the Vietnamese could not stay on their own. So I do blame our Congress for that. And I also feel very sorry for the 400,000 Vietnamese that got killed or executed because we abandoned them.
Absolutely. That is an untold story that is, the light is shown on in this movie. The close ties, the friends, family that Americans had with the South Vietnamese.
Yes.
Tell me, we have a partnership with the Patterson Foundation. Will you give me a few words about the Patterson Foundation?
I'm extremely impressed with what they are doing out at the National Cemetery. I believe I'm correct in stating that it's the first time the National Cemetery Board has partnered with a private organization for construction of this pavilion. And the Patterson Foundation was very adamant when they did this partnering that they could not be dictated to by the national. And so they agreed to it, and it appears to be going on great. And the pavilion is going to be fantastic because it's very hot in Florida. And obviously the services out there with the pavilion will allow the families and the loved ones to get in and out of the elements for their burials, which is fantastic.
All right. Thank you very much. And we have a very special screening coming up of a film called Wings, which was from 1920, the first film to ever win an Academy Award. And you said that you're attending. Please tell me what you're excited about, why you're coming to this screening.
Well, obviously, first film to win an Academy Award, and it's about World War I, which a lot of people do not know very much about. But again, it's about the gallantry of our servicemen and airmen back then that pretty much went into an unknown. Are you familiar with the Lafayette Escadrille?
Yes.
Okay. Which I'm assuming is part of this film of Wings. And you're taking 18, 19-year-old kids off the farm. They probably couldn't even tell you where Europe was on the map, and they're going over there to fight a war and learn how to fly. Just the pure courage of these young people is incredible. Just like the courage of our young service people today is incredible. What they go through. What they take on a leap of faith is that they will be taught what they need to be taught to do what they need to do in time of war. And one thing I'm hoping that would come out of this legacy of valor is that, to me, the historical films on the military and the different conflicts that we've been associated with is a great opportunity for the school system and the teachers in the school system to use these films as a vehicle to teach the students about our country. Because I think if you look back on our history, and I can't say this for sure, but I don't think we've had an extended period of time where we have not been at war. It seems like every 30 years we're in one war or another, going back all the way back to Revolutionary War days.
Absolutely.
So movies is an entertaining way for students to understand a little bit of the history of our country. And teachers could use the films to teach it.
So you absolutely recommend that teachers and parents bring their young people to see this film?
Well, not just this one, but any of the Legacy of Valor films.
Tell us a little about the other films in the Legacy of Valor.
Okay. Well, for example, there's a film called Midway.
Yes.
Which is an extremely accurate portrayal of the Battle of Midway at the beginning of World War II. And Midway kind of set the stage for how we were going to fight the rest of the war. And if we had not won at Midway, the war could have changed dramatically. And the reason why we won at Midway is because those brave flyers that really gave it all. And we lost a lot of flyers that day in that battle. But the movie is a great portrayal of what happened at Midway.
All right.
And can be used as a great talking point for teachers and parents to talk to their students or talk to their kids about deciding battles in our military history that allowed us to be where we're at today. Because if it wasn't for the greater generation, World War II generation, I think we'd be speaking German or Japanese right now.
I agree.
And what is sad is that we are losing thousands of our World War II veterans every day to death, old age and death. And so it's important that we take the opportunity while they're still alive to talk to them and try to understand from their perspective what they went through and what did they learn from all of it and why did they do what they did. You know, they didn't do it for the money, they did it for the country and their buddy. They say there's no atheist in a foxhole, and there's also nobody like your buddy in a foxhole.
Well, thank you very much.